All right, and we are back into it, guys. So yeah, let's go ahead. I switched the party up a little bit. Well, not a little bit, halfway, I guess. We have Julia and Mueller. And I switched the way the layout is as well. Reese and Julia are now our new arts users, while Estelle and Mueller will be taking the front lines for right now. So let's go ahead and go to the next area. We're on the Umbro path now. I think that's what this Umbro labyrinth. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. And there's gonna be a bunch of stuff that we need to grab here as well. Unless something important comes up, I'll most likely show that. But for the most part, nothing really here except there's like one important item that I'm looking at, and there's also a sun door in this area as well. And I'm also stalling for time to figure out where I need to go. But yeah, we'll figure all that out later. What is that? Huh? Alright, so we found another ceiling stone. Oh. Potter Mater? I remember this robot. It's gigantic. It looks to me to be a large archaism used by Ouroboros. Your reaction says there's more to it than that, however. You could say that, yeah. Let's go get that stone. Really funny how we saw that there, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys know who's inside this stone. Funny how Estelle took the stone this time. Well, after all this time, we finally found you. You must have spent a long while looking for the person inside. Then we shouldn't keep you waiting any longer. Let's hurry back to the garden and release them right away. Yeah, thanks, Reese. I would, however, there is a door that we all need to go through. As well, I still have more exploring that I need to do. There was one thing that I wanted to get, which was it was a destiny card, which I was able to get because there's a sun door that has 2 phases, and we can't go through the second phase without that particular item. I did find it, however, I was just like, you know what? I might as well go all the way and grab that ceiling stone since I was over here. But it looks like I have grabbed... No, I have not grabbed everything. There's still one item that I can't get because it's sealed off by a door. But once we free Ren, we can get that. You'd be like, oh, who's Ren? You spoiled it for us, Brumal. I don't care. Oh wait, no, it's right here. Oh, yep. That was the last item. There we go. So yeah, we have all the items, and now there is a sun door here that I am going to go ahead and do for everybody real quick. So once we finish the sun door, once we finish this sun door, which you guys know that the sun doors are mini games. Once we finish the sun door, we will go ahead and continue the story and get baby girl. I'm actually trying to remember where the sun door is at. I think it's over this way. Yeah. It was this way. I have to remember to go over here, come down here. Yep. I remember the way. Alright. Here's the sun door. Alright. Now, this sun door is actually related to something that we looked into in the second game. Like, what are you talking about? You'll see. Yes, sir. Alright. The Calvert Republic. There's a city in this country, a place where migrants from the east have recreated their homeland down to the bright lacquered tiles. Sure. Nicknamed the Eastern Quarter. It was home to people of all kinds from all places. On the northern outskirts of that town was a little run-down bar. Doubtless, it had been presentable once, but now the plaster was crumbling, and what doors were left barely fit their pitted frames. Of course, such a seedy place attracted the clientele to match. Inside were two gamblers of exceptional skill. It was only mere months ago when they had turned the underworld on its head in the match of the century. The first was Jack, a prolific blue-eyed gambler known by the moniker Victory Jack, who was finally able to put his past behind him. And the second was Haley, a petite gambler who remained doggedly by his side despite his best attempts to shake her. Today was yet another ordinary day at that bar. However, the shriek of the door opening announced the arrival of some who was anything but. So, you guys remember in the last game we read the Gambler Jack series. And yeah, here we go. We get to live that experience this time. But I believe this story takes place after the Gambler Jack series. Huh? Who the heck are you? Gotta be either really dumb or really brave, and that's saying something with this joint. I'm putting my money on the former. How about you? Hey, get away from him, guys. I'm sorry about them. I'm sure that wasn't the welcome that you were expecting when you stepped in here. She kind of, like, her outfit kind of reminds me of, what's her face from, it was that, the guy who made Fairy Tail. He made, Rave Master. Yeah, was it Rave Master? Whatever his first works was. The outfit reminds me of, the main female protagonist outfit. A tiny bit. But I don't know, I see this and I think her. Anyways, they're not bad people really, I swear. Although, you could certainly be forgiven for thinking so looking at them. Are you a customer by chance? Here, let me show you to a table. Alrighty. Still, you're quite the unusual one, if you don't mind me saying. How many people would willingly come to a rundown bar like this, especially not in the middle of the day? I'm not saying it was a bad idea to come here, of course. Sure, it's a desperate need of renovations. And the regulars are a rowdy bunch. But there's just something, I don't know, warm about this place. Like I'm home. The food's a lot better than you think, too. Oh, watch your feet. I'm pretty sure that floor panel there is gonna snap any day now. Well, here's your seat. Anything that you like to order? You don't look like you're here for booze anyway. How about something to eat? Personally, I recommend the Tom Yum Gong. It's the most popular thing on the menu, and for a good reason. That mix of spicy with just the right amount of sourness is perfect. Alright then. I can see your mouth watering already. That's a definite yes. How about something to drink? Just water? Sorry, what was that? You're looking for Jack? Well, he's usually sleeping in the back at this time of day. Wait, did you come here to challenge him to a game or something? Sorry, I didn't even think to ask you if that was what you were here for. Well, alright, I'll go talk with him. If he's in a good mood, he might be willing. But don't get your hopes up, though. Wait here for a minute. Alright. Hey, you hear that? That guy over there wants to take Jack on. Yeah, I heard. If he takes him up on it, this could get real interesting. Wouldn't be so sure about that. It ain't often Jack actually gets serious, and I don't know if the guy's got what it'll take to bring it out of him. Well, here's your Tom Yum Gong that you ordered. Eat it while it's still hot. Oh, and as for Jack, sorry, but he says he'll pass this time. Seems like he's still hungover from drinking yesterday. Doesn't even want to get up. I'm sure that's not what you want to hear after coming all this way to challenge him, but that's just Jack for you. Wait, no, I have a great idea. How How about you and I have a game first? If you beat me, I'll buck him again. I'm sure he'd totally be interested in someone who's better than me. Surprised, I'm actually quite the gambler, you know. The name's Holly. I'm the daughter of the legendary Gambler King. Not exactly a household name, but it's a pretty famous one in these kinds of circles. Fair warning, I don't plan on holding back one bit. If you're doing this, you're going all out. Plus, if I win, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Are you good with that? Well, I'll take that as a yes. Well, let's move to a more suitable table, shall we? As for the game, how does blackjack sound? I forgot how do you play? See, I don't gamble, so I don't necessarily remember the rules of freaking blackjack. Alright, and this is a card game. I'm not a gambler, nor do I play cards or anything like that, but yeah. So, I kind of forgot the rules. Okay, so my sum is 13. Go ahead, hit. Ooh, nope. Okay. Can't get any better than that, right? Alright, I won. They lie! They don't want me to win! Alright, ain't no way. Let's go, I won. Alrighty. Alright. So now we have round 2 coming up. Wow, who would have thought? You're actually really good. No, I got lucky. Alright, a deal's a deal. I'll go and talk to Jack again. Wow, you actually managed to beat her. Looks that way. Maybe we'll get to see something interesting after all. I'm pretty sure Jack is gonna wax my tail, but this might all just be RNG, to be honest with you. Yeah, man, I'm tired, because we did that in one go. I thought I was gonna lose. So there's the face behind Jack. I was gonna call him Handsome Jack from the Borderlands series. Anyways. Well, here's a new face. So, what the so what? That the guy who beat Hallie? My head's throbbing like a B word. What? Up, and there goes the floor. See, told you. I knew he'd be the one to break it. Yeah, that you did. Poor guy. It's kind of crazy how he's amazingly lucky at gambling, yet amazingly unlucky at everything else. Actually, it's probably less unlucky and more him always being out of it. Hey, I heard that, you. I'll take you on any time that you want. Well, that's enough, you two. If you want to fight, then take it outside. The last thing that we need is this place ending up any more rundown than it already is. Bro, you see the bartender back there? Look at that. Them eyepieces and that mustache. Oh, man, anyways. Oh, and on that note, there's fixing that broken floorboard yourself, Jack. That's on you. Why do I have to do it? Just getting that death glare. Fine. Ugh, this sucks. Huh, I never thought I'd see Jack get so wrapped around someone's finger. You're telling me. Anyways, sorry for the wait. Here's Jack. So, I was right then. And this is the guy who wants to take me on. Sure is. Really, he doesn't look like he's gonna put up that much of a fight. Never let your guard down, or you could find yourself stumbling into something unexpected. Like, you know, the floorboards again? Ah. Anyways, I'm Jack. Think you already know that, though. And before we do any gambling, I need a drink. Give me a whiskey, Hallie, on the rocks. What was that you said earlier about the hangover again? I got rid of that just now. Come on, we haven't got all day. You're unbelievable. Did Hallie catch your eye? Girl's about as sexy as a lamppost right now. Yo, but she's got potential. That's messed up. Oh, man. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, couldn't tell you what you. Wait, what? Couldn't tell you what made her want to work in a crap hole like this. But here she is. Anyways, forget her for now. Let's talk about you, yeah? You're one brave guy to come in here all on your own out of the blue. I doubt many guys would have the guts to do that. Or girls, for that matter. I mean, Haley did when she found you, didn't she? Nice to see that you two are hitting it off. Here's your drink, Jack. Thanks. Huh? You hanging around? I figured that you get back to work. As if I could work knowing there's an exciting match going on over here. The owner's giving me the okay too, so I'm gonna park my butt right here until you're done. With an owner like that, it's no wonder that this place is the way it is. Well, whatever. Let's get this over with. Here we go. You're the challenger, so I'm gonna be the one picking the game that we play. And I'm going with the one that I'm best at, poker. I don't know how to play poker, guys. I've never learned how to play poker. Alright, you'll play a one-on-one game of... Okay, I'm convinced if I do not win this hand, this game has been against me. I've been doing this for about 50 to an hour. Yeah, 50 minutes to an hour. And I am tired. Like, look at this. I have 3 of a kind. However, 3 of a kind isn't a thing. I've betted 2 chips on this. If I lose, we go back 2 spaces. And I just... I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. I do not know what I should do. Spades. Missing hearts, right? Yeah, I'm missing hearts, so I can't. Kind of got unlucky. Thank you. I finally won. Golly, this took forever. I finally won. Oh my gosh. Wow. Woo wee. Like, dang, you managed to get all my stars. Be proud. Not just anyone can beat me. I finally beat it. I challenged this guy like maybe 6 or 7 times. And that by far, that match was a long match. Anyways. Huh. Well, I'll be danged. You're pretty good after all. You beat me fair and square. I ain't gonna make excuses. Huh. Are you kidding me? He actually beat Jack? Only because he was holding back. You know that as well as I do. The same could have been true for his opponent, to be fair. Yeah, you're right. It was still a good match, though. Well, looks like we're the center of attention. I'd say that we entertained the bar enough, at least. Can't say that I'm thrilled with losing, but that's the first time in a while I felt the rush of a good gamble. I'll say. That was a great game to watch, and I'm itching to play some poker myself. Anyways, if you ever feel like it, come on back. I guess I'll try to make some time for you if you do. But just so we're clear, you haven't seen half of what I can really do yet. You say that, Jack. But for all you know, it's gonna be you getting beaten next time, too. We'll see about that. Still, I feel the exact same way as he does. You're always welcome back here. I'd love to play you again personally. You better come back at least once, though. Got it? I need a chance to get my own victory against you. And now that you've got one on me. Oh, I thought something happened to my game. Anyways. And oh, that's all for today. That's a shame. Well, come back again sometime, alright? I was about to be so upset if I have to do this all over again. Alright, I learned how to play poker. Golly, I don't like poker. I don't like playing card games. But we got the Mirage Ring Plus and 10,000 Mira. Nice. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and check out what we have here. We got the Mirage Ring Plus, right? Where's that stupid ring? Oh, here we go. Mirage Ring Plus. Plus 50 to defense, 600 to A defense, plus 10 to agility, and prevents petrify. Nice. Alright. So we've done everything here. Let's go uncover Ren. Let's go get our baby girl. And with this is the last character of the game. And Estella's the one that's releasing her. Nice. I don't remember if Joshua was the one that released Estelle or not. Alright, now we can get to the next area. I can't believe it. It really is Ren. It looks like she's fast asleep. Where am I? Oh, this is just a dream. Ren? Estelle? Joshua and Tita, too. What a nice dream this is. Ren? Dang, you saw her neck just caught like, ah! Oh, silly Estelle. You're supposed to be you're supposed to be older than me. You shouldn't be acting like a clingy child. You're so warm, though, and you smell so nice. It's almost like this isn't a dream at... What's going on? Ren, this... What are you doing here? No, never mind that. What am I doing here? It's okay, Ren. I'm going to explain now, so try to stay calm, okay? You see, we're not... Don't come any closer. I couldn't even read the rest of that. If you take another step towards me, I will kill you. I'll try to handle this, Estelle. Do you mind taking a step back? Okay. Listen here, little girl. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, happy to see you again, Ren. How have you been all this time? How's that any of your business? You're just as bad as Estelle is, Joshua. Crap, I read that wrong. Why won't you two leave me alone and stop following me around? I figured you must have noticed. You're right. For the past few months, we've been traveling around trying to find you. We're in Crossbell at the moment, too. Are we getting warmer? You're in Crossbell? Why? Why do you want to find me so much? And we just want the chance to talk with you. We heard from a reliable source that you haven't been back to Ouroboros since we last fought. Is that true? What's that got to do with either of you? All I want is to be left alone. I don't want to talk to either of you. I don't even want to see you. So why won't you just leave me be? Cuz. Sorry, Ren. This one's on me. Ever since you flew off, I haven't been able to get you off my mind. I've been getting Joshua to look into where you might be, and we've been going around chasing down every possible lead. But that's why I'm so happy to finally have been able to see you again. But... Oh, I get it now. You're lying, aren't you? Really, all of that's just a cover for the fact that you're trying to capture me. What? Sorry to disappoint you, but I only know about as much as Joshua does about Ouroboros. Even if you catch me, you're not going to get anything useful out of me, and even if I did know lots of dirty secrets, I wouldn't tell you. I bet you feel really stupid for wasting your time now. Wait a second, that's not... Oh, are you going to try your luck anyways? You sure brought a lot of familiar faces for backup. Even I might have trouble taking on this many people at once. That girl, she came ready. But I'm confident I'll leave at least a few of you headless before I end up beaten. Ren? You've got to be kidding me. What are we supposed to do, Shara? Don't ask me. This doesn't look good. Well, I think I know who you are now. Ouroboros Enforcer number 15, the Angel of Slaughter, correct? You certainly do know me. I don't know you, though. Are you a knight of the church? Yes, I'm Rhys Argent, a squire. And while I may not be very familiar with your circumstances, would it hurt you to behave less like a self-centered child? Excuse me? You just call me self-centered? From what I've heard, your intelligence and deductive reasoning have few peers. That led you to joining Ouroboros, attaining both a current rank and abilities that you now have. So unless I'm wrong, I find it very hard to believe you haven't already figured out that this... Hold on. Acid reflex just right there. Figured out that this isn't a trap that we've set to capture you. And yet you still expect us to waste our time and humor your little temper tantrum. So yes, I did call you a self-centered child. Rhys? Dang. She sure doesn't mince words. My, you're a brave one, aren't you, miss? Did I hear a lowly squire like you trying to provoke an enforcer like me? You must really want to end up splattered all over the floor. I could say the same to you. I have no idea why everyone else here regards you favorably, but I, for one, have no interest in being friends with someone from Ouroboros. So if a battle is what you want, I will be more than happy to oblige. Templar sword, huh? This could certainly be a rude awakening in the right hands. Of course, everyone else who's ever tried to challenge me with one ended up being quite predictable after a while. Before long, they were all begging me for mercy like pigs about to be slaughtered. It was ever so pitiful. I can't wait to hear you do the same. Ren? Do you actually want to fight, or do you only intend to stand around trying to sound threatening? I suppose this is enough talking. Come on, you two. Sorry, I yawned. Oh, man. Tita? Hey. Wait a sec. Why are you two so desperate to try and fight when you know that you don't really want to? Ren, you were trying to make it sound like you don't care about Estella Joshua, but deep down, you're happy to see them again, and you know it. And Rhys, you've already realized that Ren's not actually a bad person. It doesn't matter that she's from Ouroboros. I mean, she did kill a bunch of people, let's not forget that. Well, I'm happy? Terrible. Of course I'm not. Why would I possibly be? Then why did you look happy when Estelle hugged you? Right up until the moment that you realized that this was all real, you were acting like it was the best dream you've ever had. And now you're saying that you don't want to talk to them? That you don't want to see them? Hold on a minute, Tita. And that's not true at all. That's not true at all, and you just... so just admit it. I swear, she just cut my life short about 10 years. What the heck was she thinking? Look at you, honestly. I thought that you were a year older than me, you know? And here you are crying away. You're not setting a good example. I can't help it. What am I supposed to do when you guys finally see each other again and all you do is end up fighting? That's just too sad. That girl got a set of lungs on her, all that crying. What are you crying for? Why did you have to... Well, you know the answer to that already, Ren. It's because she likes you. She does? Hey, Ren. I know that we still got our differences, but how about we pull all that aside and call a truce for now? A truce? As I'm sure you can tell, we're in the middle of a really messy situation right now. And however you got here, you've ended up being dragged right into it with us. I'd say it's all our best interest to work together. At least until we get out of here anyways. What do you say? That's certainly true. There's still plenty that we don't know about our predicament. Having someone with your intellect on our side may help us to fill the remaining blanks. In fact, I will greatly welcome your assistance. Yeah, I'm with the Colonel. I'm not a Colonel, Estelle. Regardless, I think it would be in your best interest to work with us too. Cooperating will allow you to gather information more efficiently, as well as make it easier for you to ensure your own safety. That's true. It's obvious that wherever we are, it's somewhere abnormal. So it goes without saying that having me around would be a big help to all of us. Alright, out of respect for Tita's bravery, I will spare you all this time. Fill me in on exactly what's going on here. Thanks, Ren. Just so we're clear, I haven't decided whether I was going to work with you or not. All I'm promising is to listen to your explanation of what's happening. Then I'll decide if I'll help. Alright. I see. I think it's a pretty good idea I think I got a pretty good idea what's going on now. Whoever chose this place's name couldn't have picked a better one, could they? What? Have you figured something out that we hadn't? Possibly. I'm still not completely certain yet. But I'm relatively confident in my theory after hearing the Colonel's story, though. Me. My own experience was the same as everyone else's, ending up here after being surrounded by a set in white light. But you say you weren't wearing the uniform it happened when you were, when it happened to you, right, Colonel? How many times must I have to, well, whatever. I wasn't. As I explained to everyone when I first arrived, I was wearing a shirt and slacks, as I do every other day at work. Right, just checking. So then tell me something. Would you say you have a quite strong emotional attachment to that uniform? Pardon? Oh, that's a definite yes. It's a symbol of your past it's a symbol of your past. That past you just can't quite move on from, even though you need it to. Am I right? Yes, you are. Richard? It's no surprise you feel that way from my perspective. And lo and behold, the moment that you appeared in this world, you were wearing that very same uniform again. Whatever do you think that could mean? That would mean that when I arrived here, my attachment to the past ended up being manifested as reality. In other words, this world is capable of changing based on people's thoughts. Oh. Now it makes sense. Not to me, it doesn't. Can you explain in slightly less complicated terms for the rest of us? It's actually a really simple thing. You remember how Luciola used the gospel to make you experience a dream, right? Right? The dreams we saw were different depending on what we wanted to see, too. Of course. Unlike that, this isn't a dream, but the concept is basically the same. Anyways, just like the Luciola dream world, this world changes depending on what the people inside it want. It also happens to recreate places that exist in our memories, too. It all falls into place nicely once you simplify it, doesn't it? So it does. It explains the monuments we've encountered and how the doors work, too. Still, why that explanation may explain the contents of this world, I find it hard to believe that any of us would desire a predicament we've found ourselves in. Oh, I don't disagree. We're not the only ones here, though, are we? So, in other words, many of the contents of this world exist because of us, but its overall structure is the result of someone else's within it. From what I can gather, yes. What exactly is making all of this possible? Yeah, what exactly is making all this possible is the part I'm still puzzling over. Making people's wishes reality was a purpose of the Oriole, but now that's been lost, and I can't think of anything else capable of doing the same. I think it's easy for all of us to point the finger at. Ooh, gosh, throat's getting dry. Sorry. And who wish for this world to behave the way that it does, at the very least. The Lord of Phantasma. Exactly. Based on everything that's been said, they weren't in this world originally. That was just a ghost that you've encountered. Until the Lord of Phantasma, she simply just watched over this place from the garden here. But when they showed up, stole her power, and started remaking the world according to their own whims, the result is what we're stuck in right now. Well, what do you think? Wow. Dang. Feels like you just popped your head in and solved all these crazy mysteries like they were nothing. It's certainly impressive. Even I hadn't been able to do quite that much. Huh, you really are a genius, Ren. I'm sure you could have worked this much out if you really put your mind to it, Joshua. Unless Estelle's stupidity is actually contagious and rubbed off on you. Well, that's not very nice. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Either way, it sounds like the Lord of Phantasma person likes games just as much as I do. And without me, I don't know if you'll be able to beat them, so I suppose I better lend you all a hand. I hope you're all very grateful. Yeah, sure. Well, it's nice to have a cutie like you on board, Ren. Well, now that that's settled, it's time to use the cube and take us back to the 5th plane so we can move on. Now that we've gotten closer to working out what's going on, we should be able to move on to the next part of the game board now. I'm guessing your opponent's ready to make their move, too. Well, someone's confident. Still, have it your way. It's not as though we have any option other than to press on. I'm expecting that we'll encounter a devil at the end of the plane, just like we have all the others. Oh man, my gosh, I cannot read. We should only move on when we're sure we can handle it. I could really do without the extra trouble. Then again, I'm kind of curious of what these devils are really like. Alright, would you like to come and have a look with me, Tita? I'm not sure just the two of us are gonna be such a good idea. Aw, she was... what? Yeah, she was so opposed to being with us earlier, but look at her now. Yeah, I'm really glad that she came around. Hopefully we'll get the chance to talk to her while we're in here too. Yeah. Alright, so now we have Ren on the team. Dang, she came at 119. Golly. Alrighty. So yeah, I definitely have to do some grinding because everyone else is pretty low at the moment. But yeah, luckily there are areas where I can go ahead and train up people. But I'm gonna keep it kind of like how it is for right now until we get Kevin, because Kevin's gonna have to make up those levels as well. But yeah, let's see. We'll keep Julia and Mueller for right now. I will be swapping them out for Ren and Richard, I believe. So I just want to check out. We're gonna go talk to everybody, and I'm gonna call this a recording section. Oh, what's wrong with her? Let's see what's going on here. It's an interesting concept, I must say. Who could have thought that this world changes in accordance to thoughts and desires of those within? If what Ren was saying about discovering that being one of the conditions to moving on to the 6 planes is true, then we must be reaching at the end of the particular plane. So one thing that I wanted to point out is, and it's one of the reasons, and I might be wrong on this too, because this I haven't came across like the actual text of it in a while. So remember when Ren said, like, explained like why Richard showed up in his uniform because he had some type of attachment to it or whatever, basically. And it's one of those things where it's just like, and if it would be the same case, the reason why I call Olivier Prince Oliver, one, it's his actual name, but two, I think Prince Oliver is the one that he truly identifies with, because if he didn't, then he would be in his Olivier costume, right? At the very least. And the thing is, when we talk to him, it says Prince Oliver. However, he still tries to call himself Olivier. And I could be wrong too, but even when we go to the status, even though when we go to the status one, it says Olivier right there, and it just says Olivier Lindau. I don't know. It just doesn't make really sense to me. It's just like, he's just to me, he's like a confused individual. So I have no idea. I don't know if that was just I don't know if that was just Falcom. They just made that mistake or whatever. But it's one of the things that is just like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, I refuse to accept him as Olivier, because he will always be Prince Oliver to me, at the very least. And I say that as one who didn't start playing the Sky series. I started with the Trails of Cold Steel series. That is my introduction to the series, not the Sky games. I know people who started with Sky will always think of him as Olivier, but to me, as someone who started with Trails of Cold Steel, he will be Prince Oliver to me. But yeah. Alright. All this crap about how Phantasma made up is giving me a headache. But it doesn't take a genius to figure out just how strong the fiends in it, are getting the further that we go in. We're gonna have to get a heck of a lot stronger if we want to stand a chance against them. If the world that we're in really does change as a result of our thoughts, then we're gonna need more than just physical strength in the battles ahead. We're gonna need mental strength too. Annalise? What are you doing? Well, you heard what Ren said earlier, right? About how the world changes as a result of what people want, or to what the people inside want it. Yeah, but what does that have to do with this? She's desperately trying to wish for a stuffed toy into existence with the power of her mind. Hey, I'm trying to concentrate here. Can you be a little more quiet? Should I go with a fluffy, beady-eyed palm? Or maybe a nice silky bear? Or a super soft panda? There's so many wonderful choices. I can't decide which to go with. Concentrate? You can't even decide on what you want. At least focus on one of them and see how that goes before getting greedy. She really is trying to. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and check the other side. So let's bring Agates as well as Zen. Actually, let's bring Olivier, because Mueller might have something to say to Olivier. Alright. It seems like the situation that we're in is even more severe than I feared. We've discovered a number of rules that govern this world, all implemented by the Lord of Phantasma. But what if they created a rule that dictates, that dictates we can't actually leave this world? Interesting. It's amazing to think that this world is where people's thoughts become reality. Even after all we've seen so far, I still find myself doubting that could even be possible. But it certainly makes sense. Still, if we assume that everything that's happened so far has gone according to plan for the Lord of Phantasma, then I think that's about time that we started trying to change. What are those guys doing? We're just talking about Ren. Alright. The two of you, yeah, blah, blah. The two of you have been trying to find her ever since you left Libero, right? Yeah. I don't feel like we got to talk properly back at the Axis Pillar. There's something I really want to tell her, too. And I'm not going to be satisfied until I've done it. Still, she looks like she's doing okay. So I think the best thing to do for her now is to keep watching over her and see what happens. That might be the best, yeah. At the end of the day, she needs to be the one who chooses what to do. Nothing's good's gonna come from pushing her to make that call any faster. I just hope that ending up here with us and everyone else has a positive effect on her. But all we can really do is wait and see, huh? Yes, I think you're right. Can't deny that there's still a part of me that refuses to move on from the past. Sooner or later, I'll have to completely put it behind me and move on. Something up, Colonel? Nothing major, no. I was just lost in thought. In any case, I heard rumors about the intelligent young Ren was. Having spoken with her personally, however, they may have been underselling her. I almost wish that I could hire her to work at the RNA research. She'd be quite the asset. Alright, let's go talk to her. But guess what? I found a brooch exactly like the one that we bought a while back there. The jewel in the middle was red, though. Aw, you're so lucky. They were all sold out when I went to the shop in Grand Cell. I really wanted a red one, too. I know. Why don't we go on a shopping trip together sometime? Then we could go somewhere really far away. You'd like the Eastern Quarter in Calvert, that's for sure. You could spend a whole day shopping there and never feel bored. Really? I wonder what kind of cute accessories they have there. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you about the pendant that I bought a while back. Well, looks like they're back to the good times in no time. Oh, there you go. They're doing okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and check up on Kevin. Oh, yeah. See what they're saying. What's going on over here? Oh, is Josette the only one that stayed over, watching over Kevin? His condition is stabilized a lot compared to before. He does still have a small fever, but it's nothing worth freaking out about. A little fever never hurt anybody. Alright then. Cool. So, like I said, I know this particular video is going to be a supercut. There's probably not going to be that many fights in it at the very least, or if there is. It's not a whole lot at the very least. But, yeah. I have no idea how this is going to... Oh man, I've been recording for about 2 hours now with this particular session. Shoot. I think I'm gonna make this entire chapter like one whole thing. Maybe. It all depends. I still have no idea. But if I don't, I'll see you guys after this. If not, I'll just keep going and it'll just be a seamless cut. Alright guys, and we are back. This is still part of the Umbral Path. We're able to go through this door now. That'll take us to the next area, which we are now at the Luminous Path Part 2 now, I believe. Or Luminous Labyrinth. That's where we're at. I gotta try to figure out where I'm at on the map right here. Okay, so this is A. A takes us. There should be a celestial bomb right in here. Oh, and we also have Richard and old girl with us. Let's see. True Lumina / wheel. Ah, well, he resisted. I don't like resistance. Y'all know me. Oh, right. He has death on him. I forgot. Shazam! What was that? Oh man, she's adorable. Gotta love her. Gotta love baby sis. All right. We're bringing these two along with us. Oh, I actually just remembered which one this is. Yep. Let's go into this star chamber. We already know what it's going to say. It says the same thing every single time. I don't have these two outfitted, but luckily for us, we don't have to do a fight for this particular one. And even if we did, like inside the star door itself, they usually hook us up. But anyways, 1 month after the collapse of the Liber Arc, the banquet to celebrate the crisis' successful resolution was over, with Estella and her friends having largely left the capital to go somewhere else. One of them, however, Prince Oliver Rees Arner, I don't know how to pronounce his actual, like his full name, or his middle name at the very least, sat rather comfortably in the ambassador office in Grancel's Erebonian embassy, his work in the country not quite settled. I can't believe that my deepest apologies for not noticing that you were His Highness Prince Oliver sooner. Oh, I'm not surprised that you ever realized. I may be a prince, but my mother was a commoner. What point is there in bothering to remember my face? It's not as though I often showed myself in a palace or attended high society gatherings. Knowing me certainly isn't going to help you in moving up the ranks, my friend. There's no need to be so humble, Your Highness. Besides, I'm actually rather grateful to you, Ambassador. You gave me all kinds of useful advice during my stay here at the embassy that I'm sure will be to my benefit in the future. Well-meant words such as act like a man of the empire for once in your life, and stop idling here. Go home and try doing some work. Your Highness, Your Highness, I think you tormented him long enough for one day. The ambassador behaved the same way any other sane man would see in his position. If anything, I say he has every right to be angry at us for keeping the truth from him for so long. But Mueller? I suppose you're right. I'll spare him any more teasing for now. I actually wasn't joking about being grateful to you, though. You truly have done admirable work over the past month. I have? Acting as a pipeline for the Empire, checking the safety of Erebonians residing in Libero, helping the international liner service to resume. And those are only the tip of the iceberg. You've done so much more. You have my deepest thanks as a prince of the Empire. I am not worthy of such praise, Your Highness. You, however, deserve the utmost for braving the danger you did flying to the Liber Arc. All of what happened seems to have caused quite the commotion in our homeland. So the people seem to be rather relieved now that they know the danger has passed. It's all thanks to your courage that they are able to rest easy. Oh, there's no point in flattering me, Ambassador. I just did what I could. Nothing more, nothing less. And I couldn't have done anything alone. All I was able to accomplish was thanks to the help of those around me. I'm fairly removed from the stereotype of Erebonians as stern, strong, and self-sufficient, if I do say so myself. As rude as it may be to agree, perhaps you're correct. And yet, I believe your willingness to be flexible most definitely helped rather than hinder you here. I believe people like you are exactly what the Empire is going to need in the future. Regardless of how I feel about His Excellency, the Chancellor approach. Ambassador? Well, this is a surprise. I was under the impression that you supported the Chancellor. Then again, You are a noble. Does that lead you to oppose the reformist policies, perhaps? I may be a noble on paper, but I'm only a baron. All right. All in all, I generally fall in favor of his reformist policies. Be that as it may, while this may just be the result of being in Libero for so long and being influenced by the ways of its people, I do sometimes find myself becoming frightened by his hardline approach. I can't help but wonder exactly what direction he's trying to take our old nation. Interesting. Your Highness? Oh. I was just thinking that I'm quite glad to have taken a chance to engage in such fruitful talk with you just before departing the country. I pray that you will continue doing all that you can to ensure the peace of Libero and its surrounding nations while I'm gone. Preferably, whatever. Alright, in cooperation with Ambassador Crocaine? I still can't pronounce most of these names. Yes. Let's not forget her, I suppose. Still, it's true that since the non-aggression pact was signed, there has been some progress with regards to the crossbell problem. And given that it was Libero who proposed said pact, that makes my role in future negotiations very important indeed. I presume that is what you were trying to say. You're a sharp one, my good man. Excellent. How can I return the capital? Yeah, how can I return to the capital with my mind at ease? Now, anyway. Not how, now. Leave everything to me, Your Highness. I will be looking forward to hearing what you achieved back in our homeland. So yeah, guys, they brought up a particular role back in Erebonia a few times in that chat right there. And that was the Chancellor. Just keep the Chancellor in mind, everyone. This truly is a country like no other. I never thought the day would come when I would hear things like that from a noble of the Empire. Indeed, he's apparently somewhat less of an obstinate man than I thought he was. Perhaps this nation's very air has the power to gently change people. It seems to have an effect on you, too. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more smiles from you these days than I used to. I love to admit it, but that may well be true. I still find myself wishing that you would learn from the Liberalians' dignity and sense of restraint, however. Two qualities that you don't particularly possess in any measure, in fact. In fact, you have far too much of their opposites. You say that, but these qualities are the only weapons that I have. I don't have much that will allow me to compete against the Chancellor. I need to use what little happens to be tucked in my corner as best that I can. Have there been any changes to our plans? None. We should be able to proceed as arranged. 3 days ago, the Chancellor left the capital on a tour of Eastern Erebonia. Tomorrow you will be returning there aboard the Arcel while he's still out into the east. All those who need to be made aware of our return have been given proper notice. Your arrival in Erebonia will make a real impact of that I am certain. What potential obstructions to the plan are there at present? Nothing major. There have been some movements in the Intelligence Division, 4th Subdivision, but not much. There's a chance that everyone is being cautious, but the Arcel is involved. But I put greater odds on the idea that everyone is just treating this as a pompous performance by you and not taking it seriously. Well, they'd be right to do it is. I have no choice but to start here, even if this means that I have to use Libero. And if I'm going to put on a show, why not put on the finest one the skies has ever seen? Suppose I can't argue with that. Who are here knocking on my door, like you the police? I'm sorry to trouble you at this late hour, Your Highness. A message has arrived from you from Heimdall. Oh, nope. I remember Heimdall now. Yep, I had to think about it. That's the second time we've heard the name Heimdall in this game so far. And as soon as I realized it, yep. Because I was thinking Heimdall was like right outside of Hamel, which we know Hamel is on the border of Erebonia and Libero. And then I thought Heimdall was the city that was right above Hamel, but no, that's a town known as Parm. Parm is now the closest to the border. Heimdall is somewhere else, and I do remember where exactly Heimdall is. Heimdall is, I'll say this, it's not my favorite place to go to, simply because there's way too many NPCs in that area to talk to. So yeah. Man. But anyways, I remember Heimdall now. I remember Heimdall. Anyways. What would you have me do? Oh, really? Alright, come in. Pardon me. Well, if it isn't Lecter. It's Lecter! So now we know that Prince Olivert knows who Lecter is. And he was, last time we saw him, which this does take place well after Chloe Stardor, when she was at the what's it called? So this is definitely after he left the academy. I was wondering where you've been. I haven't seen you all day. Secretary Lecter. Gah. Anyways, I've been especially busy with work since this morning, I'm afraid. I hope to be able to come and see you. Yeah, I hoped to be able to come and see you earlier, since you will be leaving tomorrow. I'm terribly sorry for not being able to. No, never mind that. If that work of yours is done now, we three could always enjoy some sensual quality time together for the remainder of the night. So what was in the message from the Capital Secretary? They've acknowledged receipt of His Highness's message. However, they don't anticipate that you may be able to arrive all the way from Gransel in less than half a day. As such, they're currently in a minor panic, trying to ensure everything's ready for the ceremony tomorrow. That doesn't come as a surprise. There's nothing like the Arcel when it comes to speed at home. How cruel of you both to definitely ignore my proposal. Although, it sounds as though the stage will be set in time. Now I need to decide on the outfit that will leave everyone's jaws on the floor and sweeten my arrival. Perhaps a glistening coat of white loincloth. Or loincloth? I said loincloth. Loincloth? Alright, we'll do the trick. Terrible. No, it is a loincloth. Anyways. Well, that'd be a grand impact, alright. I almost wish that I could go along to see it for myself. Please, don't encourage him. You show remarkable promise for someone so young. What do you say of coming back on the Arcel with me? I'd welcome your company. Your work here in Libero is just about done as it is, isn't it? Your offer is certainly tempting, but I'm afraid I have another job to take care of soon. The thought is appreciated, of course. Really? Well, that's a shame. Good luck to you on your next job of yours. Yeah, thank you. Well, if you'll excuse me. Yeah, get out of here, Lecter. I don't like you. I can't say no one likes him. I don't like him. Anyways. Huh. So that is the second secretary, Lecter Orendel. Alright. Is it safe to assume that he's on the Chancellor's? Almost definitely yes. He came through Houghton Gate on foot and took up his new position at the embassy a month ago. And right around the same time, we headed to the Libera Ark aboard the Arcel at that. Alright, so he was there around that time too. We just didn't see him. There's no way that he could possibly be that could possibly be a coincidence. No, it couldn't. The most likely possibility seems to be that he's part of the intelligence division. Are you sure not doing anything regarding him all this time was a good idea? Oh, absolutely. We needed some way to find out what the Chancellor was up to after all. We'll probably get some kind of reaction from the Chancellor through his reports at some point. Probably in about 2 weeks when the Chancellor's tour has finished. You planned for that all along, hadn't you? Well, in that case, I'll be sure that we're ready. I'll be counting on you too. Oh, something the matter? Not really. It's just that the moon has come out. And what a beautiful full moon it is. Alright guys, so now we know that Lecter is a part of the Chancellor who we keep hearing the name of. He works for the Chancellor, and we know that he comes from the intelligence division, just like how, Richard was a part of the intelligence division here in Liberal. So yeah. Anyways. It's strange to think that this will be the last time that we see the moon from here. Truth be told, I'm going to miss it. Well, and it looks like putting a smile on your face a little more often isn't the only thing that Liberal's done for you. It's opened your eyes to life's natural beauty as well. But in all seriousness, we'll just have to do all we can and be able to come back and see it again one day. Well, we're both still alive, of course. Yeah, indeed. Alrighty. The next morning. That Cassius? There's Chloe. Anyways, Your Majesty, Your Highness, I humbly thank you both for your generous hospitality during my stay in your fine kingdom. You were even gracious enough to humor my brazen request of escorting me back to Heimdall aboard the Arcel. This debt I owe you will be repaid many times over in the future. Rest assured of that. Oh, you needn't worry this as anything that we went out of our way for. Escorting an honored... golly, I cannot read. Escorting an honored state guest back home is a matter of course. Particularly a guest whom we owe a great debt of gratitude. If you ever have the opportunity, please do come back to Liberal again in the future. I imagine Estelle and Joshua will be back by then too. So, we'll be able to give you a nice warm welcome. I'm already excited for my next visit. Have they left the country yet, by the way? They're busy getting ready to leave over in Roland at the moment, I believe. I'm planning to see them off when the time comes. I see. Incidentally, while the ruins of Hamel are currently sealed off, I'll do what I can on my end to ensure they are allowed inside. Could I trouble you to pass that along to them? Certainly. And thank you very much, Your Highness. Oh, think nothing of it. It's the least that I could do after all that they've done for me. I owe you a great deal too, Cassius. If not for your assistance, stopping that armored division from crossing into Liberal wouldn't have been as simple as it was. I could say the same to you. Still, I'm sure that you're aware that outcome will have been well within the realm of possibilities for the Chancellor. I doubt that he was even surprised by the incident. Really? Most likely not. Erebonia had nothing at all to gain from using the situation that occupied Liberal. Certainly not to the extent that it would be worth going out of their way to develop insufficient steam tanks. The only reason that I could see him for doing what he did was to show the power to was as a show of power to surrounding nations. A statement that even without orbital power, Erebonia's army Erebonia can still act. I indeed suspect that was his true aim all along. Goodness. So you did notice. The orbital shutdown phenomenon was a complete unknown to the rest of the continent. Perhaps it might never occur again, but there is always a chance that it might, whether it is here or somewhere else entirely. I hear that the Empire only built a relatively small number of those tanks in all. Certainly not enough to launch a full-scale invasion. By the sounds of it, they were just put together in Rhineford factories using parts intended for standard orbital tanks. There's another thing too. We've actually heard Rhineford a couple of times throughout this series already, but yet we haven't seen it. However, we do know that Rhineford was actually, I'm not sure if they said it. I'm not sure if they said it or not. However, we know it's a factory, as we can see there. We know that it's put, like, and given the context, we know that it's in Erebonia. I believe we hear about it in the Epstein, whatever it's called, the Epstein Foundation as well. We also hear about it then, I believe. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So we can kind of figure that it's just like it's like another, you know, it's like a factory like the Zeiss place or whatever for the most part. But yeah, just keep that name in mind for later, guys, if you guys can remember by the time. Anyways, but as it stands, the know-how to put together tanks like that exist in the Empire. And in these unpredictable times, no other nation has the time or resources to try to develop extremely insufficient steam-powered weaponry. In a sense, because of what just happened, the Imperial Army's effect as a deterrent is even greater than ever. He's using war as a diplomatic tool, and very effectively at that. None of this had even occurred to me. I have a long way to go before I'm even fit to be the ruler of this country. Don't beat yourself up about it. He's no ordinary foe to even the most hardened veterans. The Chancellor always seems to be thinking several steps ahead of the rest of the world. It's impressive, no matter what we may think of his actual ideas. I'm quite the reckless fool to be trying to challenge him, if I do say so myself. Don't be silly, Your Highness. How can you say that with a smile on your face? It is utterly behind me. You should focus on building yourselves a strong foothold to begin with. I do hope that you'll be careful. No matter what may occur, be sure not to lose sight of exactly where you stand. Of course, Your Majesty. If I were to go and bring shame upon myself now, I'd be wasting all the effort involved in escorting me back home. I'll be sure to take what you said to heart. Excuse me, Your Majesty. Hilda? Whatever is the matter? It's not often that I see you so flustered. My apologies, Your Majesty. It's just that a guest for you just arrived all of a sudden at the castle. Ordinarily, I would not have rushed in while you were meeting with others, but the visitor is so irregular that I thought that you should know at once. Irregular? How so? It sounds like it's about time. I take my leave then. Actually, the visitor said that he would like to greet you as well, and not just Her Majesty. What? Hilda, just who was this visitor? Well, he introduced himself as Chancellor Gileath Osborne of the Erebonian Empire. Boo! Lecter! Boo! Get out of here! I don't like you! Alright, so this is Chancellor Gileath Osborne, guys. All I'm going to say is this, for those who don't know, this is probably one of the most important people in this entire series. It took 3 games to introduce him, but yes, he's a very, very, very important character in this story. Or just as a series in general. So yes. It's an honor to be granted a personal audience. I am Gileath Osborne, representative of the golly, I cannot read! The Imperial Government. My apologies for the abrupt intrusion. So, you are the Chancellor Osborne. And it is a pleasure to see you again as well, Your Highness. It's been a year since we last met, has it not? I hope these passing months have seen you well. Yes. The years sounds about right. Still, while I hope you'll forgive me for asking, just what did prompt someone of your stature to appear at the castle without warning? I'd very much like to hear your side of the story. My apologies, Your Highness. You see, these past few days I've been touring the Eastern Arabonia on routine inspections. And it's been going very smoothly. More so than I had initially anticipated. I had enough free time in my schedule to pay a cordial visit. Oh my, is that so? Naturally. I would have preferred to come here while the crisis was still unfolding like you yourself did, Your Highness. Unfortunately, the confusion in southern Arabonia was simply too pressing of a matter, and I had no choice but to deal with that first. This was the first chance that presented itself to come here and meet directly with Her Majesty, so I acted with that the utmost expediency. Expediency? Whatever. I hope you'll forgive me for my lack of proper decorum and failing to give advance notice on my arrival. That does make sense, at least. Regardless, please, don't concern yourself with me. No doubt that you wish to offer your greetings to Her Majesty. My thanks, Your Highness. Well then, allow me to extend my most heartfelt greetings to both you, Queen Alicia, and Princess Claudia. It's abundantly clear that the crisis that unfolded here has been quite the ordeal for yourselves and for your nation's people. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I think this is Chloe and Lecter's first time meeting outside the academy. Alright? You have my deepest sympathies for the hardships that you have endured, as well as my commendation for bringing the situation under control. I thank you for your kind words, Your Excellency. If anything, we should be apologizing to you for the fact that the southern side of the nation has caught up in what should have been our problem. Alright, so we do know that, the southern half of Arabonia did get did get affected by the orbital shutdown at the very least. So it was able to reach out that far. But I believe we kind of knew that from the last game too, when Olivier showed up with all those tanks. I think, but whatever. Anyways, we should be the ones going to you rather than having you trouble yourself to come all the way to Libero. I beg that you accept our apologies together with my deepest thanks for coming here today. I would never ask for apologies. I've heard what happened was a work of the shadowy organization stirring up trouble within your borders. While I meant well by sending military forces to aid you, I wouldn't have done something so careless had I known the truth of the matter. Alright. I had tapped my cord and I was just making sure that I didn't lose audio again like I did with Annalisa's story. My actions were rash, foolish even, and I was rightfully reprimanded by His Imperial Majesty for them. Oh my. Fortunately, His Highness the Prince was able to act with all due haste and put right my misstep before even greater harm was done. I owe you a great debt of gratitude for that, Your Highness. And congratulations besides for your part in bringing the end to the crisis. No, I did nothing out of the ordinary. I had a lot of help from Her Majesty, Her Highness, and Brigadier General Bright here too. Bright, you say? It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Excellency. I am Cassius Bright, a Brigadier General in the Liberian Royal Army. Ah, the pleasure is all mine, I assure you. Your name is rather well known, even in the Empire. Not as much as yours is known in Libero. I would imagine it is an honor to be able to speak with you in person. It is certainly a surprise to be able to, though. Coming here on a whim can't have been easy for a man as busy as yourself. It sounds as though I may have underestimated just how capable you truly are. Not at all. I was greatly impressed to see that the Royal Army's effectiveness in dealing with the Tumlet here? Tumlet? I don't know. What does that mean? Anyways, your forces have proven powerful yet flexible, capable of dealing with emergencies ably and decisively. I might go as far as to say that it embodies an ideal that the Imperial Army, with its swollen ranks, would never hope to realize. You flatter us, Your Excellency. And for your part, I hear that you were responsible for the establishment of the Imperial Army's famed intelligence division. Our army is in desperate need of a new one of its own, so I find myself quite envious. It almost sounds as though the two of us each want what the other has. So it does. May I ask, Your Excellency, what will you be doing now? For my part, I'm intending to leave Libero today, so I'm afraid I won't be around much longer. Ah, yes, so I've been told. I believe you're intending to make your grand arrival in Heimdall aboard the famous Arcel. I'm impressed that you're already aware. I almost wish that I could return to Erebonia on board it alongside you. But alas, I'm afraid I have other business demanding my attention after I'm finished here. I'll be leaving Libero separately this afternoon. That is a shame. I would very much like to invite you for this evening's banquet. Please, you need not to go to such troubles on my account. I feel as though that I've put you out enough, showing up unannounced as I did. To say nothing of dining with such esteemed company. Still, I do have some time before the airship I'll be leaving on is due to repair. Alright. That being the case, might I ask for a little of your time, Your Highness? I have a few things that I'd like to discuss with you personally. Does Chloe not recognize Lecter? Very well. I have some matters I would actually like to discuss personally with you as well. What a fortuitous coincidence. Ha! I knew that word. Well, allow me to have a room arranged for you two, for the two of you to have your discussion then. Hilda, if you would. Certainly, Your Majesty. Alrighty. I could really use something to drink. And if that requires me to get up and go to my fridge. It's obvious that Her Majesty is quite the tea fancier. If this blend is anything to go by, the fragrance, the temperature, the taste, I'd be hard pressed to find fault with any of it. I've always been more of a coffee man myself. Yeah, I mean, I don't even drink coffee like that, but I do prefer coffee over tea. And the only tea that I will the only tea that I will drink is brisk. So yeah, there's that. All right, but I have no doubt that I'd be content with a cup of this at my desk each morning. As much as I agree with you, I don't believe we're here to talk about beverages. So, shall we get right to the point? What did you want to discuss with me? I see your sojourn in Libero has proven most fruitful. Pardon? When we last spoke, you struck me as a bright, flexible young man. And no doubt you still are, but now I see in you a resilient inner strength girding those aspects. I'm sure His Majesty will be most delighted with your personal development. Meanwhile, I see you're the same fearless man I've always known you to be. More so, even that crushing aura about you seems to have only grown with time. It's as if you fed on resentment of... It's as if you feed on the resentment of those who live in the territories you annex. Alright, so there's a little thing that we know right there. Osborne is known for annexing other countries into their country. Or states, I guess. Because there are some places like Layman is a state, not a country. Crossbell is a state, not a country. However, Crossbell is not a part of Erebonia, guys. Crossbell is not a part of Erebonia, but you guys get it. Like, Crossbell is a state, but it's not a part of Erebonia. Alright. Such harsh words, Your Highness. Personally, I prefer the term political unification annex. Or, yeah, unification. Annex can carry such negative connotations, you know. Since the end of the 100 Days War, our army hasn't committed a single act of aggression. All our unifications have been entirely peaceful. Oh, you're quite right about that. On the surface. Well, it's amazing how similar the annexation process is every single time it happens. It starts with a very small nation or independent state with an array of problems beyond repair. Those problems start to worsen, after which Jaegers and other dangerous elements enter, plunging public order to an all-time low. Despite desperate for a solution, the local governments request the help of the Imperial Army, and before they know it, they're part of the Empire. Well, it's not as though I can deny what you're saying. Each instance does share certain commonalities. Still, it's to be expected, an inevitable consequence of the age of unchecked growth and progress in which we live. The Imperial Army is simply acting in the Empire's best interests, helping to stabilize our neighbors for the good of the Empire. And it's understandable that they would. I do find myself rather curious why Intelligence Division members are going to such nations with such peculiar frequency. Well, before the problems I described worsen, no less. I won't press as to where you came by such information, as curious as I am. But I will say this. At its most basic level, these actions are about risk management. It's because we've been acting to minimize such risks beforehand that the army has been able to successfully quell each problem in turn. I cannot read today. All right. With a small price of earning and disdain of the people in those nations, and an increased risk of terrorism in exchange. To tell you the truth, I'm rather astounded that you had the courage to come to Libero on your own to begin with. After all, you've made yourself the biggest target of terrorists in Erebonia. Your concern is touching, Your Highness. I would ask that you not trouble yourself with my safety. I employ some very skilled subordinates taxed primarily with eliminating the risk of terrorist attacks against me. Really now. That Lecter is one of those, I assume. A rather peculiar fellow, isn't he? But a very useful one all the same. Working out the scheduling for this trip and taking all the necessary precautions to ward off terrorist threats were both his doing. And thanks to his commendable efforts, I can depart for Crossbell free from worries as soon as I'm finished with my business here. Crossbell? Are you surprised? I'll be participating in the top-secret discussion with representatives at the Crossbell government. Recently, a large amount of funding has been flowing into the country through Republican channels, putting our allies on the defensive. I'd always meant to visit at some point, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity. Are you out of your mind? Crossbell is full of enemies and different factions at each other's throats. I hear it's now even a hotbed for terrorists and criminal organizations because of its position as a buffer state. Does that really sound like a place the Erebonian Chancellor should be going, even on an unofficial visit? I'm surprised to hear you advocating caution in the face of potential danger, Your Highness. After all, it was you who flew into an ancient city at great risk to your own safety and returned unharmed after surveying it. Compared to such rusing risk taken, his voice completely drastically changed in my the way I'm reading it. Anyways, my visit to Crossbell will be a child's play. As I'm sure that you're aware, you're regarded as something of a hero back in the Erebonia now. To see the hero make a grand return befitting his newly minted legend. And aboard the famous Arcel, no less. Naturally, our hero has also taken the time to ensure that every well-known newspaper and magazine are aware of his homecoming too. Oh, I have no doubts that your triumphant arrival will be every bit as glorious as it has played out in your imagination, Your Highness. Dang, I think this is the first time we've actually ever seen Olivier, like, pissed. Do be sure to capitalize on the chance as best as you can to build yourself a firm foothold. I expect great things from you, after all. Yeah, so you can tell by that, just his facial expression, like, he does not like this guy. Boo! You suck! I hate you! I don't hate you, but you suck! Huh. Hey, buddy. You haven't changed a bit, huh? Really? Sounds like a ton's happened, huh? But it's nice to see that you and your master are doing alright. Lecter? Well, good day to you, Your Highness. I pray I'm not causing you any trouble by taking a tour of the castle like this. The view from this terrace is certainly a beautiful one, isn't it? What happened to you, Lecter? How did you end up working for the Chancellor for Chancellor Osborne? Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. Are you perhaps mistaking me for someone else? Your name is Lecter Undra, right? Alright. You are the Student Council President at Genus Royal Academy, which you attended before leaving suddenly 2 years ago. So no, I am not mistaken that you are someone else. But that's where you're wrong, because my name is actually Lecturindal. All he did was just separate his name. Anyways, I can certainly see how the names could be mixed up. However, they are scarily close. Still, now that you know, please just call me Lek. Don't try to joke around with me, Lecter. Do you have any idea how worried all of us were when you just disappeared without a word? You submitted your notice to leave the academy, and then we're never seen again. Alright. Even the otherwise calm Leo let out a cry of anger when he found out. And all Lucy could do was give a sad smile and say, "This is just like him." The whole time with tears in her eyes. Jill and Hans were heartbroken, and so was I. And yet, after all this time, you finally show yourself, knowing full well that I'm here, and this is how you act, by pretending that you're someone else. Lecter? Sorry. No need for the scary glare. You're still taking things way too seriously. Looks like it'll take more than stepping up as a crown princess to change that part of you. Oh. But you know, seeing you makes me feel kind of relieved. I always figured that if someone like you became crown princess, you'd be virtually... you'd have virtually no freedom to do anything other than work. But from all that's reached my ears, it sounds like you're actually doing alright for yourself. And you even made some great new friends after I left the academy. Didn't you? Nice. I sure did. Nonetheless, it's thanks to you that I was able to change all of that. Sorry. I had to scratch my ear. It was itching. Anyways. You were the one who gave me the first push in the right direction. I never got the chance to thank you properly after you left. But all this time, I've always been grateful to you. Well, consider me honored. Do I get a kiss in return? You do not. I may feel respect towards you, I don't, but nothing romantic. Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, especially with his luck. Apparently, he has really good luck, guys. Yeah, I guess not with girls at the very least. Gambling, but not with women, huh? I suppose. Anyways. And there was me, all taken in by how pretty you become. Wondering if this could be the start of something downright magical. And what happens instead? My dreams of romance and sweet smooches are crushed to nothing. Nothing before they can even begin. I know you don't mean a word of that, you know. He could. Anyways. You're looking very sharp yourself, though. It's surprising to see. Every time I've seen you before today, it was that heavily frayed uniform worn in the most sloppy way imaginable. I think you'll find that I was merely making a fashion statement. That wasn't laziness or sloppiness. Every part of it was carefully calculated and to be considered to have maximum effect. The scary thing is, I actually believe you. You always seemed as if you care for nothing but having fun and causing trouble. Yet, when it came down to it, you were wise beyond your years. And I've finally seen part of the reason behind that today. I'll ask you again, Lecter. How did you end up working for Chancellor Osborne like this? Just what happened to you between you submitting your notice to leave the academy and now? I know, but I can't share that with you guys just yet. Anyways. Do you now? I have to admit, I never imagined that would be the case. On the contrary, I was expecting you to tell me to back off. Oh, Adios forbid. What reason would I have to suggest such a thing? After all, at the end of the day, our positions are functionally the same. I'm not sure that I understand. Do you not think so? Personally, I find it difficult to believe that you would not harbor some hatred towards Erebonia as it is today. A grand empire clinging to the glories of the bygone era ruled by nobility and shackled by the meaningless conventions. Am I wrong? People call me the Blood and Iron Chancellor, as though I hold the whole Erebonia in the palm of my hand. But in reality, my position is far more tenuous. I have supporters and allies in the capital, certainly, but outside its walls, the nobility holds far more sway than any of them. And while it is true I hold a great amount of power in the form of the Imperial Army, even then, I only truly command about 70% of it. The remainder is loyal to nobility, who also maintains their own private armies. With those factored in, my advantage shrinks substantially. So you see, I'm still very much in the midst of a battle to truly exert control. Which is why you're building railways all over the country to expand your area of influence. So yes, guys, Erebonia is planning on making trains. Anyways. Or using trains at the very least. And you've been annexing new territory to the same end. Alright. As I've long thought, you clearly understand me better than anyone else. That is why I'll say this once again. Work with me, Your Highness. With your support, our nation will be able to bring about real reform faster than ever. The noble faction, bloated with its centuries of decadence, whatever. Anyways, can be stopped before they even have a chance to unify against us. Surely, that's what you desire more than everything. Let me just ask this simple question, Chancellor. What connection do you have with Ouroboros? I'm afraid I'm not quite sure what you're asking. I will say this, however. I am a firm believer in using every resource at my disposal in the name of achieving reform. That's the way I believe in handling politics. Let's see. Well, it certainly does seem as though we would see eye to eye in many ways. And that's all more the reason why I'm afraid I must refuse your offer. Is that so? Yes. I find it difficult to like the rotten noble faction that exists in the Empire. Or perhaps you're right that hate is more of the appropriate word. But my feelings of fear towards your methods are far greater than my feelings of hatred towards the nobles. Alright, let's see where we at. What you seem to be doing is trying to compel Erebonians with a delusive utopia to whip them into an enthusiastic frenzy. No doubt by successfully convincing the people, the old guard will fall into a metaphorical firestorm created. And yet by then, the gears will have already begun turning. There will be no satisfying a ruse populace with a thirst for revolution. The storm will just keep growing larger and more ravenous, engulfing anything and everything in its wake. You know this, don't you, Chancellor? But of course. After all, that was what I intended to happen. It's the first stage in my reforms. I'd be more than happy to share further details with you if you were to decide to work with me, Your Highness. In the meantime, I wish you well in strengthening your foothold back in the Empire. Of course. It's just your intention. I'm sorry, of course, if that's your intention, you'll find a necessity to work with those nobles you so despise. You truly do see everything, don't you? Well, that sounds like the noon bell. The airship should be arriving shortly. Which means it's time for me to take my leave, I'm afraid. I look forward to seeing you again in the capital in 2 weeks' time. I take the discussion is over then? What's wrong? You look awfully tired. Nothing. I'm just feeling awed and nude at the monster that I decided to pick a fight with. Huh. Well, I think it's probably about time for that airship to arrive. I'm gonna have to stop you there and get going. What? See you later, see? Next time I see you, I'll bring you some Erebonian salami as a souvenir, okay? He's like, yeah, you better stay black, homie. I'm kidding. Anyway. But wait, are you planning to just disappear without telling me anything a second time? Oh, got an important question for you. Did you fall in love with someone while I was away? Huh? Hit the nail on the head, huh? Ah, that's so cute. First love, right? How's that feel? Heart all aflutter 1 minute, and the end of the world the next. Don't you dare start teasing me. But she did. Too bad she can't have him. But you're right, though. I did. He rejected me in this very spot not that long ago. Wait, you're joking, right? There's a coincidence. Yeah, there's a coincidence I didn't see coming. I'm not so sure about that. It feels like you know everything sometimes. I'm not some kind of all-knowing and all-seeing divinity. And that's what makes the world so interesting to me. Huh? I'm happy for you, Chloe. Knowing the pain of lost love's what makes a girl blossom, in a humble opinion. Or his humble opinion, whatever. Anyways. Do you feel like the whole experience lets you get a step closer to the person that you want to be? Well, what about you? Do you feel that you're getting closer to becoming the person that you want to be? By being the Chancellor's side? Or at the Chancellor's side? Kinda hard to do that when I don't have a person I want to be to begin with. I'm just sticking with him because it feels like it'll be fun, that's all. I've been doing this since before I even joined the Academy, in fact. You have? That prince is proving surprisingly capable, but he still isn't a match for the Chancellor. Tell him to watch his back, alright? So that he doesn't get swallowed up by that monster after he gets tired of dancing. That boy had the nerve to put the hand up. Goodbye, Lecter. This was a long star door, but it's almost done. Oh, thank you all for waiting. The Calabria International Airliner, bound for the Principality of Remiferia, will be departing momentarily. Remiferia? Weren't you guys supposed to go to Crossbell? Anyways, please mind your footing when boarding. Who are you bowing to? Let's get out of here. Oh, damn. So, that was the Blood and Iron Chancellor. Wait a minute. Shara? What's she doing here? Anyways, I don't see why she would be here. Regardless, anyways. I can't believe that he actually went out of his way to use a civilian airship when he probably has a private one of his own. I've heard rumors about how out of the ordinary that he is, but he lives up to all of them. He keeps me on my toes, to put it playfully enough. Him aside, thanks for coming all this way to see me off, Shara. I was lucky I just happened to have business here at the right time. It feels like this is going to be the last chance that we get to see one another for a while, after all. Rather unfortunate, as my dream is and always was, to live away my days in the lap of luxury, surrounded by women as beautiful as you. Well, good luck with that. Changing the subject, though. Who was the young man at the Chancellor's side? He didn't strike me as your ordinary guy. Oh, you could tell. But of course. I'd say I'm used to running into people who are out of the ordinary at this point. We've sure fought enough of them. His name is Lecter Arundel. He's a secretary who was sent by the imperial government. Apparently, he was the one who planned out all the details of the Chancellor's visit to Liberal. I can't pretend to know much regarding his background, but he's exceptionally skilled at what he does. Actually, I know a little. What? Is this true? Yes. We explained our time in the other star door with Chloe. Da-da-da-da-da. Unbelievable. Then, someone connected the Chancellor to the someone connected to the Chancellor had visited Liberal first. Then he's very likely to have had his own versatile information network established here before I even came up with the idea. I think it's safe for us to assume that's the case. Which also means that it's safe to assume that he knows every detail about all that's happened here since. From the coup d'etat to the crisis regarding the Oreo, all of it. This man gets more unbelievable by the minute. Okay. He actually gave me a message to pass on to you too earlier. Watch your back, so you don't get swallowed up by that monster when you get tired of dancing. He sure knows how to He sure knows how to sting where it hurts, doesn't he? Yeah, I'm starting to get tired. I recorded twice today, and it's like 9:15 at night. Anyways, I feel like I can see a whole new world of pleasure opening up before my eyes. He should know better. Getting outdone at every turn like this is really not my style. What do you mean? Captain Schwartz, I have a little favor I'd like to ask for you when we're in the air. Speed this up. I'm rather impressed with how the Prince Oliver has come along. No matter how he chooses to act from here on, he will have his uses. To be certain. You would say that, given that you think everyone is your pawns. There's me, the prince, that's society. So he completely lied to Oliver, he completely lied to Oliver, to the prince, about knowing anything about Ouroboros, because you guys also know that Ouroboros is also known as a society. So yeah, how he's using the society, still a mystery. Well, I know it, you guys don't, but yeah. Anyways, indeed. And I am much the same. We are but pawns on a vast game board that is the Empire, where a thrill like no other will take place. But it's because you too wish to see how that game plays out, that you chosen to stand with me, is it not? Well, hey, what can I say? Just don't forget that this piece right here might not be loyal forever. And such betrayal would be perfectly fine by me. Or did you honestly think that I never considered the possibility that it may happen? Just thought I'd come out and say it. How are the other Iron Bloods doing, by the way? There are others, guys. There are others, and it's not just Anyways, they're all doing very well by the sound of it. At the rate things are going, there's a chance that all of the prince's efforts will be for naught. Perhaps I ought to hold back on him a little. You sure don't pull any punches, do you? You know something. I wouldn't write him off so easily if I were you. What? Hey, it's the Arcel. What? These look like rose petals. If you look out the window to the right hand, you see the airship, blah blah blah, the Arcel. We've been informed that it's on its way to the Imperial capital with Prince Oliver in the area, Bonnie operating on board. Blah 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 blah. But he has given a message to relay to the passengers on board today. I give thanks to Adios for the good fortune and let me be able to meet you. May your journey be filled with beautiful roses and her blessings. And of course, you may have the journey of the homes to be safe and the pleasant one. That marks the end of his message. I never thought that there was a bigger idiot in this world than me, and yet here we are. Very well, debaucherous prince. I look forward to seeing what you can do. Show me how long that you can hold up against me. So that right there, guys, is probably like one of the, in my opinion, is probably one of the most iconic scenes in this series. I just want you guys to remember what Olivier just did right there. Basically, at least the way I see it, that was him declaring war against the Chancellor. But that scene, I don't know, that scene is just like I said, it's just, I believe it's very iconic, and it plays later in the series. When it comes to it, I'll be sure to remind you, but we won't see that until, woo! I just love this game. I just love this series so much. But yeah, oh my gosh, that literally took forever. We got the Divine Eye. Don't necessarily know who I'm gonna use that on. But yeah, that was Star Door 8, probably one of the more important Star Doors that we've had. That literally, yep, gave us an idea of who the Chancellor was. We didn't hear about the Chancellor all that often throughout the story. I think the first time we hear about him was in this game. Maybe we hear about him in the second game, maybe, I'm not really sure. But yeah. And as you can see, Lecter is also a part of that, so yes. I mean, Lecter being a part, or being, you know, working alongside Osborn. Of course, Lecter has a has more of a role to play in this story as well. So, so, you know, they just introduced us to two very important characters that play a part in this series as a whole. All right, we are back with continuing this game. So let's go ahead, go down here and grab everything that we need to grab. I believe there is an item. Oh gosh, got one of these guys here. Emerald bracelet. I actually don't know what emerald bracelet does. Let's see. Prevents move speed down. That's it. Oh, okay. Is that our exit out in this plane? Doesn't look like there's anything standing between us and it either. Time to make a mad dash for the... Wait. What's up? I can smell the distinctive scent of the underworld. She can smell that sulfur. Anyways. And it grows stronger by the second. What? Alright. Are we gonna get surrounded by magic circles then? No, this isn't going to come from a circle. It's coming from above. What? Spiders? Aw, how cute. They're trying hard to be intimidating for us, aren't they? Terrible. Alright. These are the three gluttonous Arachne sisters, alright? Kin of the 77 devils featured in the Testaments. They weave nightmares and consume the souls of those who wander into the labyrinth. So this is what real devils are like, huh? They sure look the part. But they're not going to be enough to stop us. Let's get nasty. Right. Alright, so I did make some changes to the party a little bit. Okay, so... Oh! There are little ones here. Shadow spiders. I didn't even see those. They shouldn't be too hard to kill. Let's see. Strength down. Alright. That's gonna suck.
Upon the golden wings of battle, descending to that land to rescue wounded
Alright, that's one down. Let's work on the other. shoot. Ren got this. That was lucky. Alright. And now that we killed that boss last, or this monster last, the next boss just summoned. Yep. That boss dying, that one that we just killed would have summoned this boss over here. So it's a good thing we got rid of it. Golly, what?
Attack! I'm ready.
All that resist. It didn't matter. You died. That was an actual decent boss fight.
That was easy.
We actually ended up losing Ren twice during that fight. However, it was cool. So the key to that fight is to literally equip everybody with some kind of petrify resistance, because the spider that was in the middle when the 3 spiders showed up, that one would try to petrify, while the one that was on the right, the first one that we killed, that one would debuff. And the last one, or in the third one that we killed on the left side, that one, if we killed him first or anything before killing the others, he would have summoned the big one, making the fight a lot more difficult than what it would have been. So that would have been the strategy for that. So if you have petrify, really, it was pretty much free, and it was all about of just keeping our characters, basically their stats up and all that stuff. All right, Breeze leveled up. So did Richard and Estelle. Alrighty, and it looks like Ren was almost there. But Reese has Arc Fencer 2 now. Estelle has the true Wheel of Time. So it looks like her S-Craft has gotten a buff. Ooh, we got a Sapphire Gem. Nice. That was up with the what was up with the last one? That was so unfair. That must have been Zigma of the 3 sisters. Zigma, the 3 sisters' mother. Crap, I can't even talk. And even she was not able to stop us, thankfully. And we were pretty not over level, but we were the right level for that. What? That looks like Brumal, I thought you said there are no more sealing stones. This is new to me. I don't know which one this is. I'm so lost too. Another stealing stone, huh? I honestly figured Ren's was gonna be the last. Huh? So I wasn't a pretty stone like that when you guys found me too? I feel like a princess in a fairy tale. Well, she is just a child. You guys still gotta remember that. She's a child. As devious as this little girl may be, she's still just a child. Well, you kind of were like a little princess, actually. I think this one may actually be different. The other stones had a strange sense of warmth when you held them. Not so much this one. Really? Is it cause it has somebody bad inside of it? No. Instead of the usual warmth, it seems to have a cool, almost divine feel to it. Almost as if it would contain a goddess herself within. As sharp as usual. Uwe! He's here? Who's that? So, you decided to show your face again, did you? I mean, Schwarzritter, not Luve, Schwarzritter. The priest is still unconscious, I see. What a shame. I was rather surprised to find out that he can only use his stigma power against heretics. Even power of that magnitude is meaningless. If it's so limited and has such repercussions, I almost pity him. To tell you the truth, I wasn't expecting you to reach this point so quickly. I mean, Brumal did start this playthrough about over a year ago. Shut up. I've actually been really good lately with the last, 5 parts. I've been, I can't even say 5 parts, so 5 recordings at least I've been recording every day. I have been recording every day, but I don't even know what part this is, because I recorded the entire, without even editing, I recorded the entirety of this chapter, within 4 days? Yeah, 4 days. So yeah, this chapter might even be just a 2-parter, but it took me like 4 days to do at the very least. Your final piece is inordinately capable.
Oh, might you be referring to me?
Thanks to you, I ended up having to make my appearance sooner than I was expecting. I suppose I should have expected no less from the host of Grand Cell's finest tea party.
Oh, that's very true.
Regardless, I came to fulfill a duty and fulfill it I shall. Think of that stone as a gift for gathering all the pieces scattered throughout Phantasma. It contains not an additional piece, but a rule book of sorts that you may find beneficial.
A rule book? That certainly explains why it feels different compared to the others. Could this mean that you're finally ready to face us head on, rather than continuously taunting us?
Whether that time comes is entirely up to you. For now, I will say this. On the next game board, all of you will find yourselves face to face with a number of trials to overcome.
He's escaping again. Wait a dang minute. Is that all that you got to say? What kind of trials?
A variety in all shapes and sizes. Even I will be one of them.
You? Really now?
I eagerly anticipate seeing whether you are capable to overcome them all and make it to me. Don't disappoint me now.
It's almost as if he can't help but try to taunt us. He stays just long enough to say something cryptic and then leaves before elaborating every single time. Oh, I just love those types. Something wrong, Estelle? Oh, it's nothing. Anyways, we might have got nothing but cryptic teases out of him, but we do have a new ceiling stone to unlock. I think we should head back to the garden and get to it. I agree. I'm quite curious just as to what this rule book is as well.
Heaven still isn't up.
The way it closes is pretty different compared to all the other ceiling stones.
You say all the others, you only seen 2 of them. Yeah, you're right. I wonder who's gonna appear out of it.
Chloe?
Something wrong?
No, it's just the light rating from it feels somehow nostalgic. Huh? That comes to no surprise.
It's the ghost lady, I think. I don't remember actually.
It's her. What?
She looks like... Yeah, she does look very familiar, doesn't she? At least the sprite.
I'm so glad that I can finally communicate with you like this. I wonder how many hundreds of years it's been since I was last able to hold a true conversation. Your Highness? Wait. You aren't... Are you? It's a pleasure to have the chance to meet one of my own descendants. And allow me to extend a hand of welcome to you all. Or to welcome all of you. Visitors to my garden. My name is Celeste. Celeste D. Ozeles.
I believe we read about Celeste, and if you guys remember in the Liberal Arc, there were some documents that we found on some terminals or whatever, and I'm pretty sure her name was amongst one of those names that was listed in those terminals at the very least. And if it wasn't that, then it was when we were in... No. Yeah. It was there. It was either on the Liberal Arc, or it was when we were in the towers and we were trying to decipher all those, all that stuff. with all the redacted information. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for this chapter. I don't know how many parts this chapter is going to be. I wanted to make it all one part, but there was a lot of sun doors, and not sun doors, but there were a lot of doors that we had to get through for this one. And yeah, but with that, guys, I will talk to you all later.